show. And with you, we want to get straight to it because some of our audience is international. So kind of like if, for example, you're saying you're from Philly, kind of break down like how Philly is like as opposed to like different cities in the US a little bit. So with that being said, Chanel, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, hi guys, my name is Chanel. I'm also, like he said, from Philadelphia. I went to the University of Southern California for undergrad, and now I go to the University of Texas. In terms of Philadelphia, I mean, it's an amazing city. I mean, I love where I'm from. A beautiful town. The people there are next level, very driven, very down to earth. I've had the opportunity to experience both like the East Coast, the West Coast, and like being down south. So I think I have a pretty good idea of, I mean, the country at best. So yeah, it's just been an opportunity for me to be able to be out there in California and then now in Texas.
And Chanel, so what motivated you to make that move from the East Coast all the way to the West and the South?
So for one, the thing that motivated me to go from the East to the West was just pretty much opportunity. When opportunity knocks, you pretty much just go ahead and have to approach that. So when I was tasked with the job of finding the school of my dreams, I really had to take the time to navigate what I wanted in a academic facility. So, and I've also been a very academically driven person. So along with sports and school, I wanted to find the perfect balance for myself. So I definitely found that at USC, and that's what took me from the East Coast to the West Coast in the first place. And also just because I was tired of the cold. So yeah, I definitely wanted to be in sunshine, California for a few years and just see how I felt about it and just experience the new culture. You know, from being from the East Coast and going out West, it's two different things. So definitely want to just experience with new people. And then when I felt as if though, like my time has come to an end on the West Coast, I definitely went to seek another opportunity to train with Coach Flo, which is, he's a Olympic coach. He's very knowledgeable in my personal event, which is hurdles. And I really just wanted to make sure that I was taking advantage of all the opportunities that I had. So I thought that I wanted to take my career to the next level. So I decided to graduate transfer from USC to University of Texas to work with him and ultimately to have amazing training partners, which is what I have now. And I had that back at USC, but I definitely just felt as if though, like, you know, I was being moved to a different part of my life and it was just time for me to transition into that next part. So that's pretty much my journey of how I am down south now.
Awesome. And let me pull you even further back. How was the recruiting process when you were like in your senior year of high school? How was that at, you know, being someone that didn't come from under the radar? How was the overall excitement, energy? How aggressive were college recruiters?
Well, to start off, I would definitely say that it was a little bit overwhelming. I was highly recruited. So at 17, which is what the age I was at the time, I didn't know what exactly this process was like. So my brother also ran track and he was also recruited pretty well. And my parents kind of had a better idea of how to navigate the whole system better than I did at the time. So it was pretty much just, it's a new experience for us all. When you're getting recruited, you're looking at all these schools, you're seeing all these people want you, you're trying to figure out what exactly you want in a program. So, I mean, it's an exciting experience getting the chance to, you know, be like wine and dine by like all these like great schools, like learning about like all their like academic programs, like meeting the teams, meeting all these new people. And for me at the time, I was meeting a lot of people that I looked up to in the track world because I was in high school and obviously these girls were in college. So I was having the chance to shadow a lot of people who I had looked up to when I was younger. So it was an eye-opening experience for me, and it just gave me the opportunity to correctly navigate what was going to be best for me. So overall, it was overwhelming.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
I definitely say it was a fun experience. And obviously, I got the chance to do it twice because I grad transferred. So yeah, I loved it. But it was definitely a lot at my age.
I bet. And as far as like the deciding factor, was it something different about USC that, let's say, made you choose, like, let's say USC over UCLA?
Yes. So how would I put this? For USC, they are one of the top academic programs in the country. They're a private school. The degree name at the school is just very well known, and that's something that I looked at. Along with the fact that Carol Smith Gilbert was a very recognized coach, and she was recruiting very, very well for my class. Actually, she had one of the top recruiting classes. I'm not sure if it was the top recruiting class at the time or if like it was one of the top three. But when I went on my visit, all the girls that I was on my visit with, we were all talking. They were all very, very cool. And we were like, you know what, like we should all just go to USC and just really like build this program up. And they were already pretty well at the top, but we were just like, we want to make sure that we are all going to one school to make sure that it's going to all be great. Like, I honestly wanted to be part of a power program.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much just like what set things apart. Definitely the girls that were already there, they were already very well known. Like Anna Cockrell was there at the time. I don't know if you guys know her, but
Yeah.
Anna Cockrell was there at the time. Dior Hall was there at the time. And Coach Carroll just recruited so many amazing people who I had already looked up to and watched. So, and then bringing in one of the top recruiting classes and us all being on the same visit and just, you know, us connecting. And then they also had the program that I wanted to be in. And I loved the campus. I loved the environment. And I love the fact that the girls at USC, a lot of visits that you go on, you will definitely get the city experience, but I feel like I got the team camaraderie experience and what I would actually be able to take on when I was there. So I think I got the most authentic experience at USC, and that's why I went there.
Okay. And all of this makes sense. And you know, for our young viewers, it's important to hear that you don't shy away from competition. You're not shying away. You don't want to be like the big fish in a tiny little pond. You want to compete with the best. You want to go against the best, train with the best.
Right. Yeah. And I think that that's just going to ultimately help you to become your best self. At the end of the day, you are competing against yourself. So the main goal is for you to set goals for yourself and reach them. It's not about being scared to compete against people. Competition is what makes you better. So at the end of the day, it teaches you to put that pressure onto yourself and rise to the occasion at the right time. That's what I wanted to pretty much learn throughout college is that, you know, if you have that pressure set on you at practice, when you get to actual like meets or games or whatever it is, you're not worried about that because you've been there. And that's what it means when you practice with the best. That's what it comes with. So.
Excellent. And now going from high school to college, like for example, we've had a couple of basketball players on the show. They talked about how the speed of the game was a lot faster on the college level. How was like your first handful of track meets your freshman year in college?
That's actually so funny because in high school, I did very, very well. And then I thought that this was going to all transition into college. And it transitioned at one point, you know, like the timing was always right. But when I first had my first few meets, I was not running, you know, that well and compared to the college girls. When you're in high school and you're doing your best in high school, that's high school. When you're going into college, yes, take that mindset from high school into college, like, you know, tell yourself like you're the best. But at the end of the day, you're going to take some losses because you're not in high school no more. Now you're in college and there's people who have been doing this, they're veterans, and the competition and the pressure when you get to college is different than what it is when you're in high school. So I can definitely say that my first few meets, I had some meets that were great. And I had some meets that were just absolute trash. And I had some meets that were questionable. Like, we don't even know what you're going to run when you get out onto the track. That's a problem. So like, I definitely had some questionable few meets, but then once I started to get into the atmosphere of college and started to really understand and like navigate, you know, handling those emotions and like how you feel when you're actually competing and like it's high intensity. Once you get all that under control, it started to get better.
Okay, things started to fall into place.
Definitely, yes.
And you know, in a lot of sports, even as early as 9th, 10th grade, you know, athletes are encouraged to study film of whichever type of individuals kind of align with their skill set or their position. Who are some of the runners or should I say hurdlers that you've been following for a while now?
Okay, so for starters, in high school, like I told you guys that I had watched a lot of people, and I look up to a lot of people. Dior Hall was someone that I watched for a very, very long time. She was actually also at USC when I went there. She was my training partner. I watched a lot of her film because her freshman year of college, she ran a 1270, which was like the junior record, the junior world record at the time. And I was just amazed at, like, you know, how talented she was. And when she was so young, she was running the times that pros were running. And obviously she was not professional. So I watched a lot of stuff that she had. I did watch Brianna Rollins a lot, just because, I mean, she was someone who was doing very, very well in college. And to this day, she still has the collegiate record indoor and outdoor. So she's a perfect example, along with the fact that I watched Harrison, who's my training partner now. And yeah, so she has the world record. So Kenny has the world record. I watched a lot of film from her and just really trying to see like what exactly I can learn from them, and just like their film and their technique, and just taking what I can from them and just really trying to like shape and mold myself. But I started to hurdle when I was like 16. So I started very, very late. And the next year I went to college. The next year I was being recruited for college. Sorry. So I didn't have as much experience as a lot of people. I started to really take track. Like I really started to get into track a lot later than a lot of people. So that was just more of me trying to teach myself, along with my high school coach. He taught me how to hurdle, but like that was just my time to really learn what I could from film.
Okay. Now, you know, we talked about kind of the biggest difference between high school and college, you know, at the level that you're at now. Does the diet change, Chanel? Like, do you eat like less McDonald's, less fried foods? Are we eating only vegan diets? How, like, what do you all eat at that level?
I'm not gonna say I have a very strict diet, but there's just like a lot of things I don't eat. For example, I don't eat fast food. I think that you're supposed to fuel your body with what it needs to perform. And more importantly, when I eat fast food, I feel like trash. So that's a personal choice. But yeah, at this level, you definitely have to have like some kind of like disciplined regimen and diet of like what you eat. It's more about like getting like the good proteins in, eating at the right times, making sure that you're fueling your body with what it needs for practice, and then afterwards for recovery. So I wouldn't say I have a strict diet. I wouldn't say that. There's definitely been a few times where I decided to cut out meat and go pescatarian, and that was just a choice that I had. But you really want to feel like, for my event personally, you want to feel very light. So that means that like on meat days, the night before, like I'll have like a salmon salad, or like I'll try to like, cut out some grains, things like that, and carbs and whatnot, just because I want to feel the lightest on meat day. In the mornings on meat day, I'll have like some oatmeal and like a banana, like definitely fueling my body with what it needs to perform, but not overdoing it. But in terms of being at it like a high caliber level, yeah, you can't just eat fried chicken and all that stuff and perform. I mean, some people do, and I think that's amazing, but the typical person is just not going to do that. So definitely just making sure that you're fueling your body, taking your supplements and things like that. Yeah. So not a strict diet, but a diet.
Okay.
There are some days where I'll go get some hot wings.
Okay, you work around hot wings.
Yeah, so all things in moderation. I think in moderation, nothing's bad about it, but just like knowing your body and just knowing yourself and like how fast your metabolism is will help you.
And we encourage a lot of our young viewers to to be more than just an athlete. And obviously you're an intelligent young lady. What else do you have going on outside the track, as far as like building your own brand or other ventures?
Right. So obviously we all know that there's the new NIL deal, which is like name, image, and likeness, where you can just go ahead and like take that time to build your brand. I think that's a great opportunity for you to build an audience and like let people know who you are off the track. So for me personally, I have my master's in finance, so I do a lot of stuff like stocks and investments and things like that. I also have a real estate.
You already got your master's?
Yeah, I graduated with my master's last year.
Congrats.
Thank you. So I got my real estate license this year, and that's something that I do on the side for fun. I've just always been into a lot of like entrepreneurial things. So yeah, just definitely like building your stocks off track, because I know my dream and my passion is to run track, but there is a life beyond track, and that's something I've always just been very understanding and conscious of since I was younger. So I've definitely tried to set myself up in the right direction to make sure that I am set no matter what happens. And yeah, but I honestly don't even consider it to be a job. I just consider it to be things that I do for fun. It's just where my interest resides outside of track. It's just with investments, real estate, and just doing like little like brand content deals and stuff, just to build my stocks up and like my personal brand. So that's just what I do.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, in between working and grinding and striving and prepping, what is your perspective on the importance of mental health and self-care amongst college students, period?
Yeah, I think that's something that we don't really talk about that much, but mental health is so important. You have to make sure that you're in a good emotional state and that your well-being is intact, because that will contribute to your overall happiness. And I think that, it doesn't really matter, like, if for me personally, I think that your mental health is the most important thing. So if you're happy overall, that's great. But it doesn't matter if things are just going well here, here, here. If you're not okay here, nothing is going to matter. So definitely just making the time and just get that help that you need if you need it is very important. And just being honest with yourself about how you feel on a daily basis, and just doing feel good things throughout the day to keep yourself up. And I've been practicing this thing, it's called like gratitude. And like I always try to like look towards the small things in life that we very often like overlook or just don't even reflect on at all. And I think those small things bring me happiness personally. Like even if it's just like small stuff, just like how like the sun will like reflect off the window. Like it's like little weird
The
small
little things, yep, yep.
yeah, like I definitely think that we just need to be grateful for the small things. So in terms of mental health, if you feel like things are declining, be honest with yourself and just get the help that you need, because I think that that is going to contribute to your overall success down the road. And it's just going to help you to be better. We got to really conquer ourselves, our emotions and our minds, and it's important. So
All facts. Now, each guest, we always got to put them on the spot sooner or later. So prepare yourself. So now, if Chanel was coming up with her life story movie, one, what would be the title? And two, who would be the actress playing Chanel?
okay, it would probably be Life of Chanel, just because it's basic, and I think that I would play myself because I think that I
Oh,
don't
let's
know
go.
anyone else who could correctly, depict who I am. I think that I'm very much my own person, so I don't think I would be able to hire someone who could act on my behalf. I think I would do it for myself. So that's just me.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, 3 words that describe you
hmm
presently.
Okay. Optimistic.
Okay.
Um, let me say determined, intelligent.
We'll definitely keep on to those 3 words for our young viewers. And last but not least, what advice would you have for high school student athletes that are hoping to get scholarships, but they're from low income backgrounds with limited resources?
What I would tell you guys is to one, just keep on trying, keep on going. Try to talk to people at your school who could connect you. Definitely social media is your best friend. I mean, it's at the fingertips. We all use it. Reach out to people, try to get some kind of like sponsorships, some grants. And I definitely know that like being able to network is going to always be your best asset. So really sell yourself in all things that you do. People will sponsor you. People will sponsor you. I can promise you that. So definitely use that. Reach out to people like, hey, like I am an athlete. Like, no, I run here. These are the times that I run. Like I am aspiring to get a scholarship at XYZ PD school. Reach out to people. There's things that can happen. I mean, I promise you. So definitely just go ahead and network and keep going.
I want to thank you so much for taking time out and for giving straightforward answers, no sugarcoating. Nothing politically correct. Thank you for being open. That's very Philly of you. Definitely
you.
appreciate that. Continued blessings, continued success in track and field and beyond the track, and continue being a positive role model for our young ones that's coming up behind you and behind us. I'm looking forward to uploading this episode, Heavy Brand Podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Salute.